Good morning, afternoon, and evening, wherever you are, and welcome to NerdTube. And it's time to talk about Paradise, Season 1, Episode 6. You asked for miracles? Okay, I'm here with my fellow Paradisian watcher, Winnie. How you doing?
I'm doing good. This has been a good week so far. How about yourself?
It's been an interesting week, but a good week for Paradise, that's for sure. What,
Absolutely.
what a breathtaking episode this was. Like, it was, the pace of this
Yeah,
episode was frantic, and it almost felt conclusion like, but we haven't concluded just yet with this
right.
episode
Do you
because
think
yeah,
there's going to be another season after this? Because it feels like they could finish it up in like maybe 4 or 5 episodes.
I do feel like there's a possibility of another season, but this series relies a lot on flashbacks.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be interesting to see if they do a season two. Like, where do they go with the flashbacks? If that is a part of what the show is, and it'll probably be if. And let's just get, by the way, spoilers ahead. By the way, if there is a season two, it'll probably be the hunt for Xavier's wife, because I don't think we'll be getting it back this season. In my
Okay.
opinion,
Yeah.
that would be the season two sort of MacGuffin culmination overall plot to find his wife, if she does exist, because there's a good chance Sinatra could be lying to save her own skin. So
Yes, that's very true.
we'll see how that pans out. But this episode pretty much began how last week's ended, with Sinatra using his friend to basically relay a message. And
Yeah, Xavier.
yep, sorry, Xavier. Sorry, yes, I apologize.
No
And
worries.
what I like about this as well is that, even though they got all this tech and stuff like that, things are limited. Resources, people are limited. They haven't got like an FBI or anything like that to do
Mm-hmm.
all the investigation. So the guy who did do all of this, the guy with the dog
Mm-hmm.
who did all of this, they don't know it's him. And I like the fact that they don't know it's him,
Yes.
because they haven't got the resources to figure out who it could be.
Mm-hmm.
They all, there's only so many security guards. There's only so many this, that, and the other. Everyone who lives under that roof is either super wealthy or has an extreme has a real purpose in life. So
Uh-huh.
we kind of got to see that out in play now. Let me just see the names here. With one of them is escaping
And
me
yeah,
right
I
now.
kind of like that too while you're looking.
Yeah.
Because like it seems like there's only like 4 people who know how to code down there, so they're not going to be able, unless they turn it off. They don't know how to do anything, and like without those 4 people, I thought that that was interesting because I thought that it would have been a little bit more well-rounded, but they
Yeah,
are they
yeah,
took bare minimum, I guess.
yeah. They sorry, the person I was thinking of was Robinson, but
Yes, yes.
yeah, they have, like, everyone has like a purpose in amongst that contingent, but yeah, they don't have like the most amount of people to do everything. And you would
Hmm.
think, though, having a bunker like they do, they would still have a fair few people to operate it. I'm sure there are different people in different places who all have a purpose, but yeah, when it comes to like the engine room of the place, there was only a handful of people.
Hmm.
And and by the way, there were definitely parallels to other films. Without that, obviously, Die Hard, which was,
Yes, which is amazing. That's one of my favorite movies.
but I would also say Jurassic Park
Yeah, I could see that.
and all of that sort of stuff, and the reluctance of it as well. I saw, I was getting that vibe out of it as well. So yeah. So this episode begins with a man on a mission, Xavier. Now he's taking shit from nobody.
Hmm.
Like, he just goes into town. He's not wearing his suit. He's eating a steak,
Yeah, like
but
this is it. This I got to eat something good because I'm about to blow up this world that we got here.
eating a plant-based steak as well. He
Hmm.
I think he was there for a distraction, so Robinson could get the could get all the guns.
Uh-huh. That's exactly why he was there. Um, and that's exactly why he still had his bracelet on, you know, the one that sort of tracks everyone where they go all
Yeah,
the time. So, um, he said at some point in this episode they said uh Gruber or whatever his name is from Die Hard did the same sort of thing. He led the FBI right exactly where he wanted them to, and that's kind of what Xavier had to do. So that was kind of cool. So he led them, okay, follow me here so that you don't see what's going on back here.
and in a way, I think he wanted her to turn the power off, which is what the FBI did when they turned the
Mhm.
power off so that they could break into the vault.
Mhm.
And so I think that there was a part to play there as well. So they were, yeah, they were definitely playing right into their hands. So
Yes.
he's getting his team together, and he's pretty much all of his Secret Service guys. They're all in on it. And
Mhm.
I have to say, you know, a bit cliche American here. Yeah, we're going in back, pal, lock and loaded. You know what I mean, and all that sort
Mhm.
of shit. You know, they're all fucking excited and giddy. They got all their toys, you know, which is like weapons of murder, and yeah, and then they set up their plan now. Obviously there's going to be some issues with their plan. It's not going to go smoothly because Xavier, he tried to look up, make sure that his kids are not becoming pawns in all of this. So he puts his kids in the shelter,
Yeah, in
so
the safe
without
zone.
their bands. But their daughter, she just has to go,
Yeah, and
and
that
yeah.
was so frustrating to me. I'm like, I know you don't understand. Just stay there. You don't always know everything, but that's a teenager for you, you know. And
But she, but
sh-
she's, but there's a bit more to it though because she has the one of the MacGuffins in this. She has the
yes,
tablet.
the one that was missing, she had somehow. How did it end up in that bush? Because she said she went to go play Wii with Billy and Jane at the White House. So when she either came or left, she found the tablet just laying on the bush, like it fell out the window or somebody threw it out the window.
Whoever ended up killing the president, because apparently Sinatra is not the killer, which is something I did tell you that could be a
Mhm.
possibility. You know,
Mhm.
even though and I actually believe her on this one. I genuinely do.
Mhm.
You know, I do believe her because she was very easy to own up to Billy being killed. No problems admitting that.
Uh-huh.
So I do believe that she killed him, but not the president.
So who do we think killed the president? Cuz who else is
Possibly.
who else is afraid enough of ending this utopia that they have going on to that they knew the president had extra information? His dad?
Possibly the dad, but the dad got dementia,
Yeah,
and I
but
don't
he
think
comes in and out.
I don't think he yeah, but you know I don't think he's faking it. You know, and killing his son is like one step too far even for him. You know, in my opinion, like
I don't know cuz I've
it
seen
could be the
dementia.
shrink.
It
It could
could
be the
be.
shrink. Or it could be Robinson. You know,
But why would she do that?
because she is maybe look the conversation she had with the president might not necessarily be the real conversation. It was only what was the side of the story we got from her, but
All right.
there could be more to it.
That's
You know,
also true.
she knows where all the guns are.
Mhm.
She probably wants to keep things hush, and she probably wants a it's probably a power play for the position Sinatra's got. You know, which is kind of to be in charge. And
Mhm.
she thinks that somebody like Xavier will be a very useful tool. You know, and all of that.
Yeah.
It could be Robinson. That's it. That's a guess. I don't know who else it could be. Robinson, the dad is a real long shot. You know, the son possibly. You know what I mean?
I don't think so because the son is too actual sad. Like he's too actual like where Jane is a psychopath because she killed her boyfriend but is
Jane.
acting all sad about it. You know, I don't think that this is an act from the president's son.
You see, for me, if Jane done it, then Sinatra's pretty much done it because
Yes.
Sinatra,
But I'm not
because
saying
yeah,
Jane did it. I'm just saying that the way she's acting versus the way the son is acting is very different. She's a psychopath where or whatever you want to call it, where he is seems to actually be sad.
I'm just trying to wrap up my brain around all the people who we know who are within that circle. There's the shrink. I mean, like we're talking about people who are not associated with Sinatra, because, like I said, Sinatra opens up to admitting to killing Billy, even though Jane did the killing. So
Mhm.
she obviously gave the green light for that. So if
Mhm.
she gives the green light, she's just as culpable as the person pulling the trigger. So I
Yes,
don't
that's
think
true.
Jane. So I don't think Jane killed the president because that means Sinatra did kill the president.
Yes.
That leaves the father, the Son, the Holy Ghost. No, only joke about that. The Father, the Son, the Shrink, and
Yeah. Robinson maybe.
maybe Billy might have done it, and he never owned up to it before he died.
Yeah, because he
And
did say he
Yeah,
had
and
something to
Robinson.
say, but he was gonna wait till tomorrow. So was it just that the outside is okay, or was there more? Because he could
Well,
have
no,
done it.
I think what he wanted to say was the flashback we got with him that
Mm-hmm.
he killed those explorers who went outside, and to make sure that
Nobody
nobody
knew
from
about
that,
it.
yeah, nobody knew about the bunker. Um, that was his thing. So Sinatra still got blood on their hands regardless.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, but we are not. We haven't figured out who killed the president yet, and yeah, it's between Robinson and the father and the shrink. I think it's between those three. You know, maybe the son is the fourth place, but yeah, between Robinson and the father. But the son started to drink and all of that. He might have felt guilty. You know, all of these
Yeah,
sort of
that's
things.
true.
But
Do you think that's
I
guilt or just my dad's dead? I'm stuck in this world without basically without parents because where the hell has the mom been?
Oh
Um,
fuck! I forgot about the mother. The mother could have done it.
you think that's actually a real possibility
Totally forgot about her. You know, maybe she
because
sees.
we haven't seen her since like episode 1 or
Yeah,
2.
and that'll be a real weak person to have to be the killer. Somebody who we have very little knowledge of. You know.
Mm-hmm. And we
So
don't
yeah, okay.
know her anything. Yeah, like you said, we don't have any like. Could she have gone shooting on Sundays with her dad? I don't know. We have no idea. Hi, buddy. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's somebody that's a
Okay.
thinker
So
too.
father, son, Robinson,
Billy,
uh, Billy's a possibility. Yeah. Robinson, the shrink. Who's I got to stop calling her the shrink. What is her bloody
to
proper name?
Robbie, I think.
Tarabi, yeah. Yeah. So one is what, yeah, it's one of those. Um, Carl, maybe the guy, the guy who owns the dog. Yeah, the
I
president
doubt that
found out
one.
about. Yeah, and the wife. So yeah, I guess we'll find that out sooner or later. But I like the way that they used the Air Force One flares as
Mm-hmm.
some sort of like way of
Fake bomb
some sort of fake
diversion.
attack. Yeah, just to flush him out,
Uh-huh.
to flush everyone out, and then they all jumped in their cars. And him being in the Secret Service, he knew what they were going to do. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like he knew that they were going to go to the safe house, so he had all his crew there. And then it dawned on the Shrink girl, who in a way is
Yeah.
kind of playing both sides a little bit.
Yeah, which is bullshit to me. Like you
Yeah,
can't in anything, you really can't play sides. There's like a right thing to do and a wrong thing to do, and you can't do both.
which is why it could be her that killed the president.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but there's no indication of her being at the president's house. I'm about to
Right.
say the White House, but it's not the White House, is it? Oh, it might be. But I mean, it might be called the White House, but regardless,
Mm-hmm.
no, there's no indication of her being there. Just Robinson. So we'll see. Hello there, Mr. System. How you doing, mate? Yeah.
So
So yeah.
here's another thing I wanted to talk about. The his wife, Xavier's wife, I can't remember her name right now, but
The
first,
doctor.
yes, first they show her sticking up for her daughter because her daughter was doing a brilliant presentation on, and she got in trouble, or the parents were pissed off about it. But it kind of like opened up who she was. And I still don't know if we know exactly what her job is, but it seems to me that it's some sort of like, I don't know, she works with some sort of nonprofit maybe. And she's got that like activist spirit in her. Um,
I, I forgot what sort of doctor she was. She's not a doctor of medicine,
right.
but as in a physician to be more precise. But I'm fine, thank you, mate. Thank you for asking. I hope you're okay too. Um, I do hope we get to find out a little bit more, but the flashbacks were really like in the very quick, very in and out
Mm-hmm.
because they were trying to keep us on the main part of the show, which was
Yes.
the current day where everything was just spinning forward really quickly.
So
Um,
here's my
yeah,
question about that. She went to Atlanta. Do you think that was on purpose? Do you think she was just greenlit this wonderful job experience so they could use it? Because I don't think they actually wanted Xavier to come, as in Sinatra. I don't think she wanted him to come, but that was the president's main man. So the president was like, he is absolutely coming.
well, I don't
So,
think he would mind his wife being there.
well, the president wouldn't, but would Sinatra for leverage later on in case he went rogue like he is doing?
Yeah, but that's thinking really too far ahead.
You think?
Like yeah, like all of this started because of some explorers who wanted to go outside, and then it just dawned on Sinatra that she doesn't want this utopia or utopia, however you want to call
Mm-hmm.
it, to be found, and to think that far ahead, and, and like it had nothing to do with Xavier regarding all of that shit in the first place. He was just a guy who got caught in the middle, being the president's um personal bodyguard. Like all of these explorers and all of that, that was a whole different thing. And I don't know. I really don't think so, to tell you the truth. But how? But if let's say for argument's sake, she
Mm-hmm.
knows she's alive. How the fuck does she know she's alive?
Yeah. Especially because when the daughter reads the iPad and shows that there were two thermonuclear missiles that went off in Atlanta, how is she alive? Were they trying to save her and they did get her out, but she had to land in Ohio, and so like the missiles didn't hit there?
And how the fuck? Because all of this was to do with climate change.
Mm-hmm.
The whole building of the bunker and everything. How the fuck does climate change set off two nuclear missiles? Well, that just accelerated the climate change, in my opinion. But
Right. I don't 100% know. I don't 100% agree that it was climate change. I think like I don't know, we have a war with Russia, and Iran is kind of being assholey right now, that are still working on their nukes even though they said they weren't,
yeah,
you know.
it could it could be war, but the whole initial part of it all began with
Per
um
Yes.
with the climate change thing, and saying that the Earth was going to be uninhabitable. So if one leads to the other, fair enough. I'm totally fine with that. I want it all to make sense before the season is concluded. How everything
Hey Fluffy.
how everything comes together, because right now there's a lot of plot holes that need to be sewn up. So I guess we'll see. How
I
many more
mean,
episodes are left? Are there two more episodes?
I think two more for this
Okay,
season.
yeah,
I think they're doing a good job every episode of answering, or filling in those holes. So that sounded bad. Sorry. um,
yeah. Fine. Those holes need to be filled.
um, so I think they are doing a good job at like answering questions that we've had in the past. So I think we'll get all of our answers. But that's why I was asking if you think we'd get a second season, or if they would finish and we would learn everything this season.
Yeah, I mean, something like this could have a second season if Xavier's wife is alive and they leave the complex. You know, that's the only thing I can think of, because it'll be pretty boring for them just to be within that world
Mm-hmm. That's
and
very
nothing else.
true.
Yeah, so I would like that's the only way I would want a second season. To be honest, so we'll see how that goes. Jane, by the way, Jane ends
Oh
up
my
catching
God.
up, ends up getting. Now this is a bit weird because Jane, regardless of playing this sort of girl she's playing, she's a fucking Secret Service agent. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? So her being all scared and wanting to have ice cream with Xavier's daughter and stuff like that, like a bit weird. But she's obviously playing to Xavier's daughter's naivety, you
Mm-hmm.
know. And even Xavier thinks that Jane is would be a good person to call up on her team. You know,
Right.
Jane's a psychopath, by the way. Her and Sinatra. That's why I was wondering if she was Sinatra's daughter, because they feel like they're cut from the same cloth. You
Exactly.
know, but she's
And
not. She's not Sinatra's daughter, because Sinatra asked for her family to be taken care of once Xavier was making an attack on her.
uh-huh.
So yeah,
And the fact that Jane, I don't know, she went up to the president's son was uh telling everybody what they found on the iPad, which again, I can't believe that the dad just, even though he has dementia, just opened it for him, because that seems out of character. But even though he thought it was Cal, I still think that that was weird. But I can't believe uh, that Jane just walked up to her, lied through her teeth to this poor teenager, and now has probably got her holed up somewhere. We don't really know, but is that's going to be leverage too against him. So not only do we got your wife is still alive, whether we know that's if that's true or not, we also got uh
the
the
daughter.
daughter just lost somewhere.
Exactly. And Jane, by the looks of things, she's willing to kill somebody she had a relationship with without even thinking twice about it and
Mm-hmm.
not even feeling torn about it. You know,
Mm-hmm.
just killed them, you know, just like that. Then, oh, I wonder who that noise is. Is that you or me?
That's not me.
It could be me.
It's all
But
right.
without even feeling torn about it, yeah, she's a fucking psychopath, and she would happily do the deed
Yeah.
on the daughter if that was the case. So yeah, Xavier's definitely got his work cut out, and his allies are running. You know, he knows who his allies are, but I think he'll definitely make a mistake with Jane at some point. He'll learn. I mean, unless Jane lets something slip and he picks it up.
Mm-hmm. Which
You
I'm
know,
hoping is what happens, because Xavier's doing the right thing. She is gonna, for lack of a better phrase, lick Sinatra's ass until the end of time, because either she's afraid to go out there and she believes all the lies or whatever. So she wants to keep her happy home. Um, so I'm hoping that Xavier decides or figures it out. I'm just still a little bit pissed off at the daughter. I know she was trying to do the right thing, but like she definitely effed this mission up for him.
also, Jane managed to have a gun of her own to put it
Yeah,
in the pillowcase.
just like Xavier brought a knife down with him, which I didn't know that was possible. So, did
I
she
like the
bring
way
that?
he.
Was she
Uh,
just always like issued that?
well, I like the way when early in the episode when Xavier was having his breakfast, he was having the steak, and he was using that same knife to cut his meat with, which was
Mm-hmm.
telling. And by the way, I knew that this is the thing regarding the father, because I knew that that what was it called, that the thing in the book, the father's book, he has
The
that saying,
bookmark,
what's it,
the bookmark, the
the
flower.
bookmark, yeah, yeah. I knew that I would have a part to play in this,
Uh
because
huh.
Xavier's daughter saw the bookmark, and then it reminded her of some dude wearing a similar symbol, I
Mm-hmm.
believe,
On a hoodie.
walking around.
Mm-hmm.
Who could that be? I mean, maybe that was the killer. Look, in my opinion, the president was holding the tablet when he got shot. It slipped out of his hand and it fell off the balcony. Probably slid off the balcony into the bushes.
Oh, maybe.
That's how I think That's how I think. That's why. I mean, why the hell would it be in the bushes?
So
Surely
who was in the
it seems
damn
too
hoodie
valuable.
then?
Well, that's the $64 million question. Um, well, I guess we'll find out. Like I said, it could be,
So
it
is
could
this
be
some
Robin
sort of
Twin.
eyes wide shut thing on top of everything else?
Eyes wide shut.
Yeah, is there some sort of secret like society that we don't actually know about but that exists? Like, I promise you that's not me.
No, that is me. That is
Okay.
me. That is my cordless speaker asking for juice.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
But yeah,
which is-
so is there like a like you know how about all the rich people have like or so they say is in this conspiracies like there's the um I don't
I've
even
seen
know
those sort of
Knights
things like
Templar
the
kind
movie,
of groups.
yeah, and that movie Society and all of that.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, yeah, but it's really minuscule now because they're in this world, and this world it's very hard to even maintain this
Mhm.
sort of mini Illuminati of 25,000. Um, I don't know. It's getting a little bit far fetched, but oh, this killer! I'm just wondering who the fuck it could be.
Mhm.
My
And
mind is kind of racked on it.
they did a good job at even hiding like if it was a male or female.
Yeah, that too.
It's so crazy.
Yeah, yeah, that too. My money's on Robinson. I think. My money's on Robinson. I
Yeah,
don't
because
know.
she left early. She didn't do what she was going to do.
Yeah. So and
And
she knew about the guns.
she was like sad and like I think when she was at the bar last week or the week before with Xavier, I think she was genuinely sad. Like but
Well, she knew about the guns as well. That's what I'm saying. When she got the
uh-huh.
information on the guns, she could have easily got one, come back, killed him.
Uh-huh.
You know, and
Exactly.
so yeah, my money's on her. My money's on her. Well, but why at the same time? What? Because I mean, I thought she loved him. So
Yeah, but sometimes like this is how I feel, which may or may not be the right way, but sometimes for the greater good, you have to do the horrible thing, even if it's like hurting something that you love, you know? And maybe that's why she had that speech. Like she had to turn off her love for him to go and do something for the greater good because she knew stuff was not right.
okay. Well, like I said, it hasn't been confirmed. I don't want to put all
Right,
my
right,
eggs.
right.
My money is on her being the killer. I just nobody else makes any sense. Maybe the shrink, but then why? I can't think of a
Mhm.
reason. The father, no. The son, no. Those would be too far fetched.
Mhm.
Was it Xavier all along? Like was he
But he didn't
hypnotized
have
or something?
access to guns, and Xavier is a right
Yeah,
fighter until he gets pissed off.
and like I
Like he'll
said,
do the right thing
yeah,
until he absolutely has no other choice.
Billy had a gun, so as well. And like I said, if it was Jane, then it would be Sinatra. But if
Right.
If it was Billy, then it would also arguably be Sinatra as well. So there's an argument there to be made too, because he was working for her. So
Mhm.
all right. So yeah, we end with the standoff. With Xavier catching up with Sinatra at her place.
Mhm.
What she's got no guards there, but you can never believe her what she's saying. It could be just a way of maybe Xavier putting his guard down so they can kill him. So
Mhm.
you've got to be careful of that. But then she lets loose that your wife is still alive, and that's the sort of
Ugh.
thing that could put a bit of weakness in him.
Yeah.
We saw we saw a fair few scenes of the wife for the first time this
Mhm.
season. Really saw her, like we heard her, but now we saw her.
Yeah, now we saw her. We got a real feel for the lady. She's one of those, black women who are trying to fight the establishment, sort of kind of people. The people that, you know, I don't know, kind of like me. Like we
and
see
the
injustice, we
privileges
do everything we can to not do it.
and the privileges as well. But you saw that scene with them at the school and talking to the principal
Mm-hmm.
and all of that. So yeah, it was a it was an interesting it was an interesting moment. But just for him to then lose his wife and all of that, and if there's a chance for her to still be alive, then yeah, I think he's willing to do a lot of things, bend a lot of rules, in order to get her back. So Sinatra's definitely playing every card she's got in the deck,
Mm-hmm.
to
So
keep
now
things
it's just a
score.
matter of who runs out of cards first.
Yeah, but you saw her vulnerability for Sinatra. As much as she likes to talk a good game, if people want to say "fuck you, Sinatra," I'm coming after you, she shits
Mhm.
herself. You know
Yes,
what I mean?
every time.
She-
She does get
Yeah,
scared when the pseudo bombs went off, she got scared. She hit the deck like she
yeah,
was scared.
yeah. She's an intellect. She's not a physically intimidating person. She's a
Mhm.
mentally intimidating person. So that's how she gets by. But when there's a whole bunch of people with guns in their hands who just want to take over and there's a coup and stuff like that, all the smartest in the world is not necessarily, probably not unlikely to save you. She's dealing with Sinatra one on one without all his gang, so she's able to get
Right.
into your fucking head. You know what I mean? So yeah. All right, let's mark this episode. What do you want to give it?
I say like I hate I know you hate when people give 10 out of 10. So I'm gonna and I know you hate decimals, but
No, I
9.75.
I don't hate 10 out of 10. I've given tens for many episodes and shows
I'd
before in
say
the past.
like as far as this is the best episode so far.
Mm.
So I'd say probably really close to a 10, if not a
This
10.
episode felt nothing like the rest of the series, which was quite methodical and slow paced and unearthing. This episode was breathtaking, whatever.
Breathtaking? Yeah.
Yeah, breathtaking. That means if you've fallen in love with someone and you're,
Yeah.
yeah. Anyway, regardless, or you mesmerized by somebody's beauty. I think
Yes.
breakneck, not
Breakneck
breathneck.
is what you're trying.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yes. That's it. So yeah, this was a breakneck episode. The flashbacks were in and out, without lingering too much. It's telling you what you need to know before it went on to what was important, which was the current day
Mhm.
shit. It felt like it was all going to end in this episode, but no, there's still a little bit more.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? We might come to a little bit of a crawl next week, with these revelations, and the takeover might not happen if Sinatra thinks that she's got one over Xavier, especially once Sinatra finds out that Jane's got the kid,
Mhm.
then Xavier's really fucked. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So we'll see. I'm gonna give this episode I'm gonna give it a 9. I thought this episode was great. I
I
really
did.
did.
Yeah, it was.
I did not. Yeah, go on.
No, I was just saying it was really good.
I was very frustrated when it ended because I wanted more. I was like looking at the clock and thought to myself, no, this is gonna end soon. I don't want it to end. I'm ready for
Mhm.
more. So yeah, I have to wait another week, unfortunately.
I know.
But
And
yeah,
I don't know, is next week's going to be even better because this episode was perfect. Like it was so good.
I don't think so. I think next week we're gonna slow down a little bit, just a tad. I think we had the rush to a sort of culmination, but it was an anticlimax to a degree. So I think
Mhm.
we're going to like regroup a little bit next week, especially now we're going to see maybe Sinatra start to play on Xavier when it was the other
Mhm.
way around this week. So we'll see. So all
Yep, I
right.
agree. So, but yeah, with that, I guess we're done for this week.
Yeah, we are. All right then, everyone. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to NerdTube, the greatest social media channel you never heard of. Later on, our friend Christine will be releasing her unboxing video for Christmas, which was, I know, 2 months ago, but there was a postal strike in Canada, so a lot of her stuff never got delivered to her on time. But she got a big fat sack from Santa Claus, and she's opening up and trying all the lovely ingredients inside Santa's sack. You know what
Oh
I
my
mean?
Jesus.
She's smothering herself with all the goodies. So please check out that video. That'll be coming out in a few hours from this particular recording. So check that out. Anyway, Thank you very much for watching. Have a nice day. Thank you, Winnie.